evening and welcome to Neurotoxin Reviews presents Mega Ice Train's remake review. Tonight I review 1931's Dracula and 1992's Dracula. Hi, I'm going to review the two Dracula films most critically acclaimed. Now, of course, many of you may argue, hey, 1971, the horror of Dracula, Blade Trinity, etc. But I'm going for the first major motion picture, and I say that first major motion picture, which was 1931, starring Bela Lagosi, and the most acclaimed version, starring Gary Oldman. Now, as far as the actors go, I think, as far as, I think the only reason you'd watch the original was to look at where it all started. The lore, the visual image of vampires we have all started with Bela Lagosi. He just looks like, he is Dracula, let's face it. He set up that what Dracula is and what he looks like. So everything after it was trying to either tear away from that or imitate it. And obviously tearing away, people are like, oh, that's not Dracula. And if he imitates it, it's like, oh, that's just the same one Dracula. You can't win. 1992 version, Gary Oldman, they seem to work more on the Vlad the Impaler mythology. He was the inspiration for Dracula. It includes that in the reason why he's doing it. But then it just turns into like a long lost romance story, which can get grinding and tedious at times. Visual effects, you cannot compare them. 60 years in between. 60 years of technical and lighting advancements as far as cinematic achievements go. So visual effects, even for the early 90s, were actually quite good. It's just the way they make the character look. The actual costume design has got to go to the 92 version. It looks like more of a period piece, whereas Dracula 1931 looks more like an idealistic history that we wish that's how it was, and we remember the evening suits and tuxedos. But I don't know, considering they got a load of this was early cinema and they were just getting people who had previously worked as stage actors, they seem to be giving pretty poor wooden performances. Now again, but going back to 92's, very satisfying performances on all parts. Accents were maintained. The only two characters completely miscast, I believe, are Keanu Reeves as an Englishman, and that slips at times and it can get quite grinding when you turned into, Bill and Ted's like, no, I can't do that, instead of English. And Anthony Hopkins trying to play a bit of an oddball. He's quirky and funny, but it doesn't work for him as Van Helsing. Whereas in the original, it's just straight acting, which I've got to love and respect. First one, I think they looked into it. They looked in undertones of sexual orientation, whereas in the remake, in the 1992 version, they just all out just show sex. You have the brides of Dracula licking blood of Keanu Reeves. You have Steam giving Winona Ryder an orgasm, green mist. And you have a werewolf raping a woman. Yeah, I want that. Overall, as far as which one I prefer, I'm going to give it to the original. Mainly because that's where vampire on screen, the visual image, that's where it all began. You can forget Nosferatu, because at the time there was a vicious legal battle, they hadn't acquired the rights. Dracula 1931 at Bela Lagosi is Dracula. Forget Christopher Lee, forget Gary Oldman, forget the guy who was in Blade Trinity. I already have. This is where cinematic vampires first appeared, and though some people have grabbed the vampire lore, rubbed it in the mud, Buffy the Vampire, etc., it still stands tall, strong, powerful. The visual images, the cinematography, the actual visuals were fantastic. The acting could have been better, but it was stuff of legend, why it has such enduring power. So yes, this one goes to the original. Tune in for the next one. Thank you for watching.